All right, guys. So here's a test. I just want to see if my camera is able to kind of pick this up, because what I'm looking for is right here. Does it see? So I just got the FSD 14.2.2.2.2. I think that's enough twos. It's amazing. In all its amazingness, one thing I wish it did was go inside the garage. But I saw a Reddit post by the tech godfather, and thank you so much for this. But basically what he did was he ended up using these white tapes like this that goes kind of outside into his garage. So when it opens up, it automatically sees it, and then you could click on it and it moves through from FSD, which allows him to do 100% FSD. With that being said, that's exactly what we're going to try. We're going to see if we can make a DIY kit. We have some vinyl that we cut, and what we're doing is we have a 3-inch strip that goes down the middle, and we have 2 black stripes on each side. We're doing that because that's the highest contrast level between a black and white, and then basically it can see that white line, because typically, you know, parking garages or any sort of parking is typically a white line. So we're gonna test this, and this video might be really cool because it works. It also might be really not so good because it doesn't work. But let's go ahead and get this real quick. So, all right, Dustin, let's do this. So first off, do we have some alcohol?
Yep.
So first step, guys, is going to be clean out your garage. Luckily, we kind of cleaned our garage prior to this. Not for this video, but we just happened to. But we need to clean the floor a little bit. So I'm just gonna clean where we need to clean. Oh man, you thought you were gonna watch an FSD video and you end up watching a garage cleaning video. Like I said, we're using automotive grade, but we're only gonna be using vinyl that's gonna last for at least a season. Let's just like lay it out, actually. So like, kind of like this. I'm telling FSD basically that white line that you see is basically the parking spot. So we're gonna flush it like to this line right here. Yeah, so probably a little bit inside. And then, okay. And then because we are gonna be kind of short, I'm gonna do a very, very small overlap. This is the thing about vision, is that technically this should work, I think. I mean, I see a little curve, but it's okay. Not a big deal. One other thing is, like, you can paint this, but this is way easier than painting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather do this than paint. Also, it's temporary. It's probably good right there. And then I do need to make a cut. Just for context, guys, the white line is pretty obvious, isn't it? What do you think?
Yeah.
But we have this black 1-inch lines that goes around it to make it even more obvious, right? But I want to see. Let's go inside. And before we even get there. All right, guys. So here's the test. I just want to see if my camera is able to kind of pick this up, because what I'm looking for is right here. Does it see? Like,
It doesn't see it anymore.
so like when I go here, it doesn't see the lines? All right, so it doesn't see the lines. Like if you look here, it doesn't even show up. So I think what we're gonna try to do is we are gonna put those black lines. That's interesting. I wonder if it's like not clear enough. Not really cheating, but basically giving it a little bit more information so that you can better make the decision. So in ours, in the DIY kit, it's gonna be one piece. This is gonna be interesting. I hope this works. Okay, so normally when you go reverse, it's supposed to pop up. All right, so that was a fail.
Well, maybe you go forward.
Yeah, I think I want to do forward. Okay, so it's still not seeing anything. Sorry. So I have an idea. Let's go get out. Remember we had that white strip?
Yeah.
Let's try to extend it out just a little bit more onto the driveway. Like about, I don't know, half of what we have. So what we're doing is basically giving it a little bit more information. When you do this too, just kind of go up like that. I have it on driveway. Okay, speed profile.
There we go.
Where are we going? I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll just let it do its thing. That'd be dope if it backs in.
No, we're leaving.
Okay, but where are we going? So yeah, how far do I need to go to recognize that?
It's all good over here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if it'll at least see the lines. I mean, if anything, those lines help me. All right, so we tried the white line. This is actually 3 inches. We kind of ran out of the black, but it didn't work. So I think what we're gonna try is we're just gonna try it at our warehouse and then see if maybe a 4-inch wide. All right, so I know that was kind of a fail, but I think we can figure it out. So just so I can show you guys how it normally works. If you put a location like this, right now I'm going to the Walmart. Actually, I'm going to the fuel. I actually don't want to go. Actually, it doesn't really matter. I just need to find a parking spot. But if you look here, it says parking lot right here. And that's what it kind of gives you. I wonder if I guess if it sees it, I wonder if it looks at basically the maps. And if it's a residential, maybe it'll just do driveway and curb, right? Or curbside. But then if it recognizes that it's a Walmart or something like that, then it might just give you the option for a parking spot. I'm just trying to see how it sees a parking spot. And also maybe study a little bit about how it looks. But in a sense, if it has more business, it makes FSD a little bit easier because it has a lot more things to look at as a guidance in terms of understanding the space around it, if that makes sense. What makes it a little bit harder in a garage and a residential is that there's just not a whole lot of context. I guess there is a context of, it looks like a garage. If you noticed it earlier when we were kind of playing around, you can obviously see you're going inside something, but that seems to be not quite enough to see the lines. But here's the thing, you see right now, all these parking spots, this is what it looks like. And then you could press start. So yeah, you can see that. Let's look outside. Yeah, they're wide as hell, aren't they?
Yeah, these are 4 inches at least.
4 inches, you think? So we're just kind of looking at it. This is way thicker than the 3 inches that we had. And another notice that I've realized is look how much space there is. There's almost a foot around the side,
Yeah.
So maybe we need to widen it a little bit. I think we know what we need to do. Widen it about an inch. So when we get back, let's try getting a 4-inch, if we can edit that file real quick, and we'll make some cuts. And we'll cut a bunch of them, and then we'll create the exact same kind of scenario. We actually didn't get this on camera, but we taped our warehouse up there. So it basically creates a little area. Do you see the difference though? It's actually seeing some of that line.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Both sides.
But it doesn't quite see it as a... But look at that. So we went to a Walmart parking lot and we just kind of studied how typical parking lots are. And what we realized was it's about 4 inches wide. And then also, I think the minimum we saw in the Reddit post there was 7 feet and 2 inches. So that's kind of what we're... Oh, God. That's so aggressive. So yeah, we have that taped over here. Oh. And here's the thing, it is seeing the lines if you look at that. You see that? Start to see the lines. What if we put like something to just kind of show that it's like a
Good curve.
So what's very interesting was we put a box like that, and then now I can do Autopark. Seriously, that was it? You just need a curb? No way. We were reading the Reddit, and the way he did it was he basically created a private driveway, right? On Google, and you have to submit it, and you basically like draw it. And then once you submit it, you change your home address to that. And then basically, since Tesla navigation is based on Google navigation, once that updates, you should be good to go and you can set your new home. That's really how he did it. So like in my case, I think the difficulty of FSD right now is you don't really have like a choice to pick where you want to be. Hey, I think that's a window. It's the first one where I thought it was a curb. I wonder if I need to buy a curb. I'm gonna do that one more time, see if I can replicate it. But for mine to work properly, I really needed it to be forward. So it sees it. Boom. I mean, it picks it up immediately. So I mean, this proves right a point, right? Like you could basically trick it to be a parking spot, and this is actually quite nice. And it goes exactly within those lines. Honestly, this parks better than I can. And look at that. Let's test how even the parking spot is. Wow. How much inches on your side? Look at that. So I mean, that's pretty good. We got it to work. Sort of.
Okay.
Here's the trick. We need a curb.
Okay.
We need to show that that's a stopping point. Because I think when I looked at the camera, because it's not raised, it's hard to tell. I wonder if I could 3D print a bunch of curb. All right, so progress. Look at this. This is beautiful parking spot. I think the closer we can get it to a parking spot, the better actually, right? But I think the goal is to mimic like a curb. And that kind of tells it, like confirms that maybe that is a part of the FSD programming. So we got some work to do, but regardless, we'll come up with something. All right, so we're looking at parking stops. So one of the things that we were testing out there is that when we added a parking stop, it was able to almost immediately identify. We have this parking stop, and then we designed really quick 3D printed stuff. So it's printing right now, and this is kind of what it looks like right here, right? So you can kind of see the preview. It's an interlocking system, so it's super simple. It just locks in. But yeah, once we get that, I don't know if we need to add a whole lot of black lines around because we used just white, but we did make it wider, 4 inches, and it was perfectly fine. So that's nice. So on the Reddit post, let's just go to the Reddit post and we can just show you exactly what I'm talking about. And we'll put it on the screen itself. But in Tesla FSD, he actually goes through exactly what he did, which is kind of interesting, right? So like FSD maps and just navigation of the Teslas are actually based on Google Maps. So what he actually ended up doing is creating an edit on his driveway, creating a local map to the main street. And then that way FSD knows that it extends, if that makes sense. So like right now, what I understand it uses the map for some confirmation, and it probably uses vision to assist that it's a driveway, and then it just parks on the driveway. But what if it's an actual road or a parking spot? So like I can show you a couple things. Like I said, I don't want to show you some of this stuff because it's more private and address related, but like you can actually add a fix or a road, and you could actually go to the address. So I think we can show this part right here. You can actually create a road, and then I created 2 things. I actually tried 2 things. I created a local road. I also created a parking spot. So when you actually put your navigation, yeah, and then that's what he says, you have to reset your home, because basically once it has a new info, you just want to reset it. And then once you reset it, it's supposed to technically be able to go in and out. And you created all this lines and all this information, and you fed all that. And we're kind of gaming the system. And look, here's the thing. Out of all these things, we're just being a little impatient. I'm sure they're working on it. But it's one of those things like, how far can we push the current systems right now? And that's kind of what we're doing. So kudos to Tech Godfather that kind of found all this stuff, but it's just kind of fun experimenting with it and then using some vinyl stuff to see if we could try this in our home. So, yeah.